Hey yo guys, DOZ 101, Alvin Man 1 here. The camera keeps fucking up on us and it's getting really irritating. We said we might consider doing a part 2 to the Q&A and just to wrap it up, and that's what we're gonna do. So we left off with Irvace's question, or we left off with a question regarding The Undertaker. Uh, do we see a darker character? We said we don't think so. But now we're gonna go on to part two. Irvase asked us what makes us keep watching wrestling. I think I would say on my behalf, it's just the fact that it's die-hard, old school, and that we're wrestling fans and we have a dying faith for wrestling to get better. Because I want to touch on something real quick. When it comes to WWE and TNA, the flagship shows, the wrestling aspect of both shows, Raw and Impact, suck.
Mm, I'll agree with you for Raw, but I
Well,
disagree a little
for
bit for
TNA,
Impact. Some of the
for
Impact
TNA,
matches are actually still pretty good.
yeah. For TNA, it's decent at best. Nothing too great, but TNA's got a long way to go before they can really get considered a great wrestling show. But what keeps you watching wrestling?
Like you said, I'm just a diehard fan. I've been watching since Macho versus Hogan, WrestleMania 5, actually even WrestleMania 4. But it's just always been entertaining. It's still entertaining, even if some of the matches aren't great matches.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of good entertainment value in it. So when it ceases to be entertaining, then I will probably stop watching.
But I think the one thing we can both agree on is that right now the state of wrestling, as the wrestling aspect of it itself, needs to be improved, at least on Raw and on Impact with the time limit. Impact's time limit needs better, maybe like 12 to 15 minutes of matches instead of 10-minute matches. Because in TNA, most of the time you can't build a great match in 10 minutes with a lot of the roster. But then again, who knows? Do we think the Season 2 NXT rookies will join Season 1? Yes, eventually.
Eventually down the road, yeah.
All right. What is our favorite match of 2010 so far?
HBK Taker.
HBK Taker from WWE, from TNA.
Angle versus AJ, up to the point where AJ hit Angle in the face with the title belt.
If we were wrestlers and we could pick our own gimmick, what would we be and why? I would just be an asshole. I would just be the asshole who tells it like it is.
I would be like the original DX Shawn Michaels, who was still cool and he was still a fan favorite, but he was kind of a dick at the same time. And he was funny too, so that was... that'd be what I'd go for.
Let's see. Okay, and Y2AFW asked us if Scott Hall and Marty Jannetty became a tag team, what would they be called? The Backups.
Yeah.
Because Scott Hall... he had all the potential in the world to become a WWE Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats, but he was lazy in the ring as years went by. He became a drunk. A sad story, basically, and I hate to trash on Scott Hall, but it's the truth.
Yeah, and I doubt that tag team, if it ever happened, would last very long.
Yeah. With Marty Jannetty, he had all the potential, but things just didn't go.
He just fell into Shawn Michaels' backup.
Yeah.
That's basically all he really was.
And then the block from the wrestling show asked us, why did Stick Stickly kill Nickelodeon? I personally find that to be a funny question, but...
Stick Stickly was disturbed. He hung out with Ren and Stimpy a lot, and they're not really great influences. I mean, Ren has anger issues, and well, Stimpy's just an idiot. So.
Yeah.
And it didn't help anything.
Okay, well, we got time for a couple more questions. You can ask me a question and.
That's. What do you think Sting's real reason for doing what he's doing is? I'm trying to figure this one out.
The heel turn. The heel turn with the way Sting has been lately. I think it's just kind of like that respect thing, so to speak, like the main event mafia. That's kind of what this reminds me of. And Sting is on a quest for respect, or he's going to do something where it's like, oh, I want to bring honor and tradition back to wrestling, if you know what I mean. Well, that's what I think.
He keeps mentioning this, I can't think of what it is, but
some sort
deception.
Of group or something?
He keeps talking about deception.
Okay.
Which I think is a little strange. I'm not really sure where he's going with that.
Okay. And here's one final question for you. Bret Hart's GM position, good idea, bad idea? What should they do with it, do you think?
Well, I like the fact that we have a general manager again, but I think that maybe I mean Bret Hart's not a bad idea for the general manager spot. I don't think, but they could have gotten a guy who's better on the mic.
Yeah.
And also maybe they would have maybe it would have been better to wait until you're done with the guest general the guest host thing, because that sort of makes it like there's two general managers.
Yeah, the guest host concept, as we said in our last video, time for it to come to an end. The Rock needs to be that last guy. With Bret Hart, eventually he will go heel. I could just see it happening because power will corrupt him. Trust me, that's what I know. And this is the end of our Q&A, guys. And we would make...
I do have one other question, actually.
Yeah.
Is Sheamus, is he like allergic to or afraid of the light? I think I said that once before, but I still haven't figured it out. I mean, it's sad when you got a guy who's so white that he makes Triple H and he even makes Edge look like a black guy.
With lame ass, I don't know. Dude needs like ESP 40 or some shit like that.
He needs like 10. Yeah.
And a question for you: here's the latest rumor with TNA. Okay, with TNA having rumors of ending pay-per-views, do you think it would be a good idea if TNA did a 3-hour Impact commercial-free on Sundays to get Spike TV ratings?
Well, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think it'd be a bad idea for them to stop doing pay-per-views. I think that'd be really stupid of TNA to do because...
But you'd also have to consider the economy.
Yeah. But it's not like the WWE is going to stop doing pay-per-views. And if TNA does, WWE is just going to bury TNA. TNA won't last.
As if they already haven't done that.
Well, yeah, they kind of have. But at the moment... As long as Hogan stays backstage, TNA is looking, at least from my point of view, TNA is looking a little bit better than WWE at the moment. WWE is the big company. They're the ones that are going to be getting most of the fans, obviously. But I just think the product has looked better as long as Hogan stays in the back and Flair stays out of the ring.
I could mostly agree with you. I just think, and honestly, in general, to wrap this up, the state of wrestling, the actual wrestling aspect of like Raw and Impact needs to be improved.
Yeah, it does.
For Raw, we want more matches. We want pay-per-view quality. For TNA, we want more than 10-minute matches each and every week. Granted, they give us about 5 matches, but 10 minutes is not enough time for a lot of your roster.
Right.
Like, look at Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, he's a guy that needs 20 minutes.
Yeah, in 20 minutes he can put on a really good match. He can do it in less time, but it's not going to be as good.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that would be the end of the Q&A.
Yep.
We will see you guys later. Peace.